There have been just 9 times an NBA team went on a 20-plus game losing streak throughout basketball history. Of those 9 times, Stephen Silas was a part of 1/3 of those events. 3 of those took place this century. The first time Coach Stephen lost over 20 games in a row was when he lost 23 straight as an assistant coach of the Charlotte Bobcats back in the 2011-2012 season. That losing streak started on March 19th and ended on their final game April 26th against the New York Knicks. If there were more games to play in that season, the streak could have gone on longer. The Bobcats wrapped up that season with a record of 7-59, just a 10.6% win percentage. Fast forward a few years later, he finally landed a head coaching job with the Houston Rockets from 2020 through 2023. And being a head coach for the Rockets was a big deal. So was his big losing streak. During the 2020-2021 season, the Rockets lost 20 consecutive games. This started on February 6th and lasted until March 22nd, 2021, when they finally beat the Raptors at home. The Rockets finished that season with a record of 17-55, bottom of the Western Conference with a 23.6% win percentage. In fact, this was the worst record in the league at the time, even worse than the second worst Pistons, who were 20-52. As a head coach of coaches with a minimum of 185 games, Stephen Silas has the worst win percentage of all time. He went 59-177. A 25% winning percentage. If we were to compare that to the Rockets roster this current season, the Rockets are playing slightly above 500 with a very similar roster as Stephen's final season coaching that team. But maybe very similar is a stretch. Their core is obviously much older and have more experience. A roster that doesn't have much experience is the current day Pistons. As of this recording, the Pistons have a record of 3-30, and Stephen is the current assistant coach of this franchise. He was part of the longest losing streak in NBA history, a losing streak of 28 games, which started on October 30th and ended on December 30th, 2023, with no wins in November at all. At the time of this recording, the Pistons have a win percentage of just 9%. This leaves us with a question: is Stephen Silas to blame, or is he just in the wrong place at the wrong time? First and foremost, considering he was just an assistant during 2 of these losing streaks, you can't really put the blame on him. And even if you specifically look at his time as head coach for the Rockets, give any great coach a bad roster and watch them do poorly. For example, just look at Greg Popovich right now. Greg is one of the greatest, if not the greatest head coach in NBA history. He is currently at the bottom of the Western Conference with a record of 5-27. And even the Spurs of last season did not do so hot. Stephen Silas clearly is a talented guy who knows the game of basketball. Now, if you are one who were to take omens seriously, maybe he is an omen that your franchise is in the middle of going through growing pains. But what do you think? Should the Pistons keep Stephen Silas? Should they reset the whole entire coaching staff? Or do they just ride these contracts out into the sunset and see what happens at the end of it? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to dunk on that like button and subscribe with notifications turned on. I'm Rebound Rewind, and I'll fast forward to you later.